Hello, my dear students. So we are going to start with the topic of animal husbandry. So let's dive into the topic. So let's see, what is animal husbandry. It is the scientific management of animal livestock. Livestock means what? This word that you can see, this is the livestock means what? When you try to manage many animals, it is not one cow, okay? Nothing like that, or one one hen or one chicken or something like that. Or it's not that you are dealing with only one individual animal but a group of animals, okay? And how you scientifically manage that, it is never like how will you bring those animals and somehow you keep it in your area. No, how will you scientifically manage? Then let's see what are the various aspects. How will you feed them? Feeding. How will you breed them? Means how will you make them reproduce new life forms, new life organisms, and how will you control the diseases? Now you see, these animals as such, they are not at all in their capacity to do anything of their own, okay, in a controlled way. Of course, they can go and feed. The cows, they can go and feed themselves somewhere on the roadside or on a farm. Anywhere they can go. They can breed also. Fine, they can breed also. They can reproduce by themselves. But also if there is any disease, they will not be able to control it by themselves. So what I mean to tell you all is that these animals, if you want them to become healthy or something like that, they will never be able to do it by themselves in a controlled way. If they keep on feeding, they'll keep on feeding, nutritious or not nutritious. They don't understand all those things, right? So they'll keep on feeding and breeding themselves and reproducing animals and animals after that. And also they will suffer from diseases. So what is animal husbandry is talking about? Animal husbandry is how you scientifically manage their lifestyle, okay? By feeding, breeding, and by controlling the diseases. All right. Now, animal-based farming includes cattle. Fine. That means a cow, goat, we all know, sheep, we all know, poultry. Poultry means all those domestic fowls that we breed for eggs or the chicken meat. Okay. And also the fish farming. Very important. What does the animal farming consists of? So it's a cattle, goat, sheep, poultry, and fish farming. All right. As the population increases and as living standards increase, the demand for milk, eggs, and meat is also going up. So if they in a family there is only one people, so that one person will only eat maybe one egg. Fine, only one egg. But now in that family, this person gets married, okay, and then what happens is we get to see that this person now gives birth to 2 children. So total now there are 4 members. Now these 4 members, it can happen that each of the members have 2 eggs. So total we need now 8 eggs. Previously we had one person who was having only 1 egg, but now there are 4 people in the family and 4 of them, I mean each of them, they have 2 eggs each, right? So 4 twos are 8. Now instead of 1 egg, in that same family we require 8 eggs, right? Similarly for the eggs, for the milk and the meat also, the demand will keep on increasing. Also the growing awareness of the need for humane treatment of livestock has brought in new limitations in livestock farming. Thus livestock production also needs to be improved. Now due to growing awareness, due to social media, due to YouTube and everything, we can see that how animals are treated, right? Poorly treated. So as we know that we can come under the banner of the social media or in the eyes of the world. So for that purpose, it's very necessary that we take control of the animal husbandry in a truly scientific way. Okay. All right. So this is all about your animal husbandry introduction. So first we are going to study about the cattle farming. So what is, just a second. What is a, cattle farming. Now cattle husbandry, that means how will you scientifically manage the cows or the buffaloes. Okay. So cattle husbandry is done for 2 purposes. Well, what are the purposes? Number 1 is milk and the other is drought labor for agricultural work such as tilling, irrigation and carting. So what do you mean by two purposes? Is one is we need these cattle or cows for the milk, and another is for the plowing of the field, farm, all this thing. That is called as a drought labor. Fine. Indian cattle belong to two different species. Well, what are those species? Bos indicus, that is the cows, and Bos bubalis, that is the buffaloes. So the Indian cattle we have of two species. You have to remember all this. Bos indicus, that is the cows that we say, and Bos bubalis, okay, buffalo, scientific name of buffaloes. Well, fine. Then milk producing females are called as a milch animal, that is a dairy animals. That means those cattle or those cows that produce milk, okay, they are called as what? Milch animal, milch, milch animals. While those cattle that are used for farm labor, that is used in the farm, used in your there's a big farm for irrigation, for tillage and everything, those are called as the drought animals. Okay, basically what happens, these this female or these females who are no more capable of producing the milk, who have become a bit old, and also like you can say the male, the buffaloes or something like that, okay, they also, those who are not at all capable of producing more milk or doing another work, they are taken up for this farm labor. Okay, those who have got a good strength, physical strength, maybe they are not able to produce milk. Well, that's not the thing that you will discard the animals, but this even though they are not producing milk, they are capable of farm labor, so they are called as the drought animals. So milch animals and drought animals. Milch somewhat resonates with the term milk, so remember they are the ones which produces milk, and drought, that means something dry, okay, so these are used for the labor purpose. Fine. Milk production depends to some extent on the duration of the lactation period. Now, what do you mean by lactation period? That is the period of milk production after the birth of a calf. This lactation period is also there in human beings. That means when a calf, that means a baby cow, is called as calf. After the calf is born, the female cow, they start producing the milk, and that milk is taken up by the calf. Okay, so this production of milk, okay, milk production after the birth of a cow is called as what period? Lactation period. Fine. Now what happens, you see, milk production can be increased by increasing the lactation period. So what does it mean? That means you can increase this lactation period. So in some cow, what happens is that the lactation period, that is the milk production, can be for maybe 1 month. Okay, 1 month. In some cow, it can be for 2 months. In some cows, it can be the milk production by the female cows can be for 3 months. Okay, so there is a variety. Now what happens is that milk production can be increased by increasing the lactation period. You can increase this production of milk. Maybe this cow which can produce the milk for only 1 month, you can do something scientifically and try to increase its lactation period or the milk production period for maybe 3 months. Okay, so that can be done. Exotic or foreign breeds, for example Jersey, Brown Swiss, are selected for long lactation periods. So these foreign breeds of cows which are called as a Jersey, Brown Swiss, let's see, Jersey, Brown Swiss, this is the Jersey one, okay, and this is the Brown Swiss. This is what? This is the Jersey cow and this is the Brown Swiss. So these are basically what? Your foreign breeds. Okay. Now what is the issue with the foreign breed? They are selected. Why are they used, these foreign breeds? Because they have long lactation period. That means they can keep on producing milk for a very long period of time. That's why these foreign breeds are chosen. Whereas local breeds means what? Just a second. Local breeds. Okay, local breed means what? Are Indian breeds. Why is it not? Just give me a second. Okay. Well, local breeds means what, you know? That means our Indian breeds. Now, what are those? Red Sindhi and Sahiwal. Please, you have to remember these names, okay? That what are the foreign breeds? What are the Indian breeds? So, you have to remember those. So, these are the Red Sindhi and Sahiwal. Okay. Are they all negative in character? No. So, local breeds show excellent resistance to diseases. So, foreign brands, foreign cows, Jersey and Brown Swiss, they can produce milk for a very long period of time, long lactation period, whereas our Indian breeds, local breeds, that is the Red Sindhi and Sahiwal, they show the resistance to diseases. That means they do not get caught up by various diseases so easily. They are quite strong enough in their immunity. These two can be crossbred to animals to get animals with both the desired characters. So now here we have one foreign one which has long lactation period, and here we have another, our local breed, which is completely resistant to diseases. Now what we do is that we help them mate with each other. Okay, we help them mate with each other. As a result, what will happen when we will get their offspring, their child, we can get a cow or a cattle which has got both the characteristics in one animal. That means this cow can also produce milk for a long duration, and also this cow is resistant from several diseases. Okay, so this is how we do the cattle farming. Okay, so here we can see Bos Indicus. This is one type of cow, and this is another Jersey cow, means what, the foreign breed of cow, and Desi cow means our Indian breed. You can see the differences among them. Okay, one has got horn, the Desi one has got horn, the foreign one has got no horn. Then we have got a hump. The foreign breed, they do not have a hump. Then there the back is rounded. You can see it's quite rounded, but here we have got the quite pointed one back. Okay, and then we can see the flaps here on the neck flaps are there, whereas in the foreign one we do not have the neck flap. So you can see the differences. Okay, now this is Bos Bubalis, that is the buffalo. Okay, then this one I had told you, this is the Jersey cow, and this is the red Swiss cow. All right, next let's go. Now we have to understand another thing, that how do you maintain the thing? That is also important. See, proper cleaning and shelter facilities for cows and buffaloes are required for humane farming. Humane farming means what? That means a well conditioned farming. Okay, it's not that you bring cattle to your area and just like that you keep it. No, human farming means you provide them the proper food, the proper shelter, the proper hygiene. That is called as human farming for the health of the animals. Number one, you have, because when there is a well conditioned proper place for these animals, the health will also be quite good, and also they will produce clean milk. Done. All right. Animals require regular brushing to remove dirt and loose hair. So you have to keep on brushing. I have a dog. Most of you might be knowing that. So we keep on regularly grooming his fur so that he doesn't have any sort of dirt and also any sort of loose hair. So you have to do that. Okay. Just like we comb our hair and we scrub our body, similarly animals also needs to be done that. Who will do that? They can't do it by themselves. You have to do. They should be sheltered under well ventilated roofed sheds that protect them from rain, heat and cold. Just like us, we also need a well proper ventilated. It's never that we will stay in one box of a house where there is no proper ventilation, no window, no sunlight, okay, no air flow. Okay, we cannot stay in such an environment. Similarly, the cows or the cattle or any animal, livestock you say per se, so they also need to be kept in a proper environment. Okay. Now, the floor of the cattle shed needs to be sloping so as to stay dry and to facilitate cleaning. So floor means what? Suppose this is the base, the floor that you say, it needs to be a bit of sloping, okay? And here you have the cows, well, something like that, just imagine it to be a cow. All right, so this floor should be sloping, so that suppose the cow dung is there, they urinate, they do not have that much of sense that they need to go to a washroom, okay? So they will stand wherever they are and they will start to defecate, they will start to urinate, okay? So as a result, this should be able to flow down, and there you have the drain, okay? So proper this cleaning also takes place properly. And suppose a person comes and now starts to clean this area, so it will be very easy for the person also to get rid of this unhygienic materials from that cow shit. So the floor needs to be what? Sloped. It should be in a sloping condition. Next, the food requirement of the, just a second, again we have to use the pen. Fine. The food requirements of dairy animals are of two types, okay? Now, you cannot keep on feeding them anything anyhow. They require food. This specifically the dairy animals, that means the ones which produces milk. These dairy animals, they are of how many types? Two types. Fine. Now, what is number one? Maintenance requirement. What is maintenance requirement? That is, these are the food required to support the animal to live a healthy life. So, for their maintenance of healthy life, they require maintenance requirement food, okay? And also, so that the milk production is good, they require a different type of food, milk producing requirement, which is a type of food required during the lactation period. So number one is for the normal health and hygiene, they require food that is called as a maintenance requirement. And when these cows, they become pregnant and they give birth to young calves, okay, after the birth of the young calves, they start producing the milk, so that the calves, they can have the milk of the mother, isn't it? So during this lactation period also, so that the milk is of a good quality, that point of time they required milk producing requirement food, okay? So we understood that food requirements are of two types in a dairy animal. Now, animal feed. Now, what type of food are there? Animal feed includes roughage, which is largely fiber. You will see them eating all those grasses. So that is roughage. Okay, fibrous food. And concentrates. That means they are low in fiber and contain relatively high levels of proteins and other. Like means concentrate means what? They are also given some sort of pulses. They're given millets. Okay, so these are not so much like the grasses, that is fibrous kind of a thing, roughage kind of a thing. Okay, but these are basically, these concentrates are what? Number one is roughage. They will have roughage, the grasses that is required for their stomach, for the fibrous food. And the concentrate means anything which is rich in protein. Grasses are not rich in protein, okay? So anything which is rich in protein, or like pulses, okay, like that. So these are required by the animals. Now, cattle need balanced rations containing all nutrients in proportion, just like us. Like we need balanced nutrition, similarly cattle also need that balanced nutrition. Besides such nutritious food materials, certain feed additives containing micronutrients promote the health and milk output of the dairy animals. Just like we take vitamins, don't we? We take vitamins even after we are having proper meal. Sometimes doctor prescribes us to have vitamins, and we do take vitamins, okay? So like that, for the dairy animals, for the milk producing animals also, we give certain kind of feed additives. Apart from the nutritious food, we give certain sort of vitamins or micronutrients which helps them to keep their body healthy. Now, cattle suffer from a number of diseases. What are those diseases? Is it written there? Let's see. And how do you control them? Okay, cattle, they will suffer from a number of diseases. Fine. Now, these diseases, besides causing death, reduce milk production. Okay, so the diseases are not that they will only cause death. Suppose a cattle has caught up with a disease. Okay, it's not that it is going to die always. It can also happen that the milk production will reduce. Fine. A healthy animal feeds regularly and has a normal posture. Normal posture means the normal, you have seen how cows are. Here you can see that this is a normal posture of a cow. So that's a healthy one. The parasites of cattle can be both external parasites and internal parasites. Fine, we know parasite means what? They will never produce anything by themselves. Instead, they will be feeding on the host organism for its nutrition. That means they will not do anything by themselves, okay, or they'll keep on taking benefit from others. So these are known as parasites. Now these parasites can be external. What external parasites means? They live on the skin and causes several skin diseases. Okay, fine. Now internal parasites are the worms which affect the stomach and intestine, while fluke damages the liver. Please remember this thing, that the internal parasites, worms, they will affect the stomach and intestine, and flukes, they will damage the liver. That means they'll keep on sucking the blood from their nutrition, they'll keep on having it from those organs. Infectious diseases are also caused by bacteria and viruses. So obviously these are microorganisms. They are capable of causing diseases not only in the human world, but also in the animal world too. And then vaccinations are given to farm animals against many major viral and bacterial diseases. Okay, so we are also taking vaccine in order to protect us from several harmful diseases. So similarly, the cattle are also given the same to protect themselves from viral and bacterial diseases. So this was all about your cattle farming of animal husbandry.